important is that it's an authentic audience for student work. This is something that shows up in the GLICs about having authentic audiences. We can put links to podcasts, which Kaylin's going to talk about. We let students have authentic discussions with one another. We can provide links to student work. And this is a student who thought what we really needed to do was we really needed to have the community know more about the musical that was coming up, so he went and interviewed the music teacher. And we're finding that over and over, things like school current events or connections to the curriculum are what students are recording about and getting excited about. And the blog is sort of a permanent home for those things. 2.0, it's free, interactive. I don't know why I wrote free so many times. I've got to get more sleep. But it's good news.
Good.
It's the best news you've heard about money all night. It gives parents an inside view into the student learning experience, and I think that's something that we have not yet really, until now, cracked the code on, is that we can now show parents what children are talking about in the classroom. I think that's very powerful. Those authentic voices, giving voice to students in a new way, motivating students, especially, in my experience, students who might not be the academic superstars, but man, they can teach. All the substitute teachers I've had for curriculum review, they teach how to podcast and how to do this kind of work. And we see the correlation with the GLICs and the authentic audiences.
Our Moodle site, Moodle itself, the software is free. Our hosting services are paid for by our parents. And so we are able to host it, and that's what we were able to pilot it so early. What we've done here, as you can see, this is the home page for the Moodle, the interface site. If you'll scroll all the way down to the bottom, Matthew. Stands for already. No problem at all. We didn't go over that. We too knew that we would be coming tonight. We were given a brief agenda, and so we put that in our news for tonight. So if we'll go to our news forum. Discussion, they can review something, then again, it's similar to the wiki, as a collaborative, discuss what's going on there. So here I gave my own definition of what Moodle means to me. Matt can reply to that, other students in the class, so we can kind of build in some of that where students, some students are less likely to be outspoken in class, to say something or have a valuable input. Here they can have a more anonymous, would you say, way to come in and get into the discussion and really have some very meaningful input.
It's not really anonymous. I don't mean to
Well, yeah, true.
say anonymous, but what it is it's less pressure.
Non-threatening.
It's less pressure than the typical middle school setting when you're in the classroom. You're under, the peer pressure of, what do I say, what don't I say?
Next post there is a survey, and just to show how this tool works, we're going to ask Mr. DeAngelis if he come up and take our survey for us.
We've heard about blogs. In here, one of the things that we really like, it's password protected, so we do have a lot of security. Also, blogs, usually you can use an RSS reader to access them, as well as anything that has an RSS feed. The neat thing is, with our control that we have over this to keep the kids safe, we can not allow that. So the kids can get access to their own blogs, they can get access to each other's blogs, but if we don't want them to have access, then they don't. It's predominantly group work, and groups like to work, but sometimes there's not always enough time. And what we have here are secure chat rooms, so we can post a chat, the students can enter the chat, and they can talk as much as they want, to each other.
This is then. This is where we've been. This is also where we've been. So that was already an upgrade. These huge cassette tapes, recorders, players, headphones, the size of computers now. This is where we used to record and play our language tapes in the classroom. But we have evolved. Technology and language study now looks like this. This is my own website out of Seahome. It's taken shape over the years. I started at Groves, then I moved on to Seahome, but the page has been pretty much the same. But I kept building, actually. Our language lab, I have to admit, this isn't our actual language lab. I had to borrow this picture from Google Images, but it looks pretty similar. From there, though, our teachers have a console, and this is what their computer screen looks like, where they can see what the students are currently doing. These are the students A teacher can pop in to any conversation by selecting the student and choosing to listen to what they're doing, what their conversation is like, whether they're practicing, doing the exercise, or whether they're actually not participating, and they can have a private conversation with them. Study for the future, it will look like this. This I already do, but not all of our teachers have had time to set this up for themselves. This is an actual radio station from Puerto Rico called Isla, Radio Isla. Pégala Puerto Rico is their slogan, 13:20 a.m. But here is, we invite you to click and listen to us online. So our students, this is linked to my webpage at Seahome. Our students can go here and they have assignments to listen for a while. Moodle in the World Language Classroom, this is what it looks like for us. This is the main page where the students log on. We also then have our login name, password protected, very secure, free also for the students to sign up. Once inside my class, this is what my page looks like right now. We're in the marking period 4, so I have divided my class by marking periods, week 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., spring break, and from here they get assignments. But Moodle is more than just a calendar. We can definitely keep track of what the students are doing, send them reminders of what their assignments are, have a journal of what we've been doing in the class, but it's much more than that. This week 4, last week, we had some assignments on the web. And here's where they are. Once they scroll down to the appropriate week, they have handouts, they have links, previews, practice, presentations, etc., where they can work with stuff they've already worked with in the classroom. A lot of our students, they pay great attention in class, but would like to see the material again on their own time. Some of the stuff that we presented in the classroom, and this is the opportunity to do that. But more than a review, more than a calendar, Moodle can also help us test our students and quiz them. Test taking back in the old days was like this. Then now it looks like this. Test taking in the future will be like this. It will be at home. There will be an opportunity for our students to do from home what they do in the classroom. Again, in marking period 4, week 4, we have a practice quiz here embedded. Actually, this is for the current week. A practice quiz embedded into the week schedule, where a student, once they log on and find the quiz, it looks something like this. Gabriel, no le blank, comida a los animales en el zoológico. So this is the way for them to practice irregular verbs that conjugate in the command form of Spanish. Moodle also is a grading program. These quizzes that the students can take at home can be graded by the computer. So today I asked a student to take a sample quiz for us, Brooke. She did a really good job. And I can see where she was successful. She was successful in every answer she gave. The blue indicates a successful answer, a correct answer. The red indicates a wrong one. And this is the sample that I gave you, the incorrect answer I gave you. But it also shows to us how many students got certain questions right, where the most mistakes happened, and standard deviation and all the good stats that we want to find out about, whether it's a faulty item, whether it's an item that we need to readdress or explain a little further.